Welcome to Dr. Mary Travel Best's 5 Steps to Solo Travel Guide for people like you who need extra support traveling one at a time. Please share these ideas and add your own. I appreciate your feedback and travel questions as the Travel Best team is working on a playbook and a third book, Part C, about 90 days around the world. In this episode, the FAQ is, what should I tell people who think I can't travel solo? Today's destination is Lake Como, Italy. Today's misstep: sometimes you don't love your roommates when you share a room. Here's why. And travel advice: don't buy another timeshare. And if you have one, it's really hard to sell it. So let's talk about the FAQ. What do I tell people who think I can't travel solo? And here's the answer. Ask them, why not? And then listen. Then address each one of their questions or comments. No one says you need permission to travel solo, but it would be good to tell them that you are prepared, have planned for things to go wrong, and have taken this travel step by step to be more likely to be successful. They may be telling you in a way that they will miss you, but they just don't know how to say that. They could also be jealous. They could wish that they could make this trip themselves. So there could be a lot of hidden reasons why they have those opinions. And now, today's destination is Lake Como, Italy. Como, Italy was a quick train ride from Milan. On a hot day, about 95 degrees Fahrenheit, I ventured to Lake Como to cool down. I went there solo for 3 days, staying in town at a hostel that cost me $150 a night for a middle bunk. That was the most I paid for sleeping anywhere around the world. It did have a bathroom with a shower and suite. It may have been less costly if I had booked earlier than 2 weeks in advance. Either way, here's some advice if you are heading there. It was a quick walk from the Como San Giovanni train station to town, so you don't need a car here if you stay in the main city. The lake is a breathtaking view from wherever you are, so the water keeps you cool even on a boat. Buy the all-day ferry ticket if you can stay for the day. Explore all the ferries and see the episode's notes with links, including accessibility information for getting on and off the ferries. I spent a full day on a ferry tour of the lake, 3 hours north at its furthest, and with more than one tributary. I got off at Menaggio and found a paid private club called Lido, but I didn't swim there. A few minutes later, while swimming in the lake, I met a family from Denmark at a free swim spot. I walked the town. I had Nutella-flavored gelato. Then I took the ferry to Varenna. I walked around that area too. Then I took another ferry to Bellagio. The line was too long to get back on the boat, so I stayed on board. I got off later in the smaller town. Here I met another couple from Germany. They agreed it was dreadfully hot. I stopped to cool my feet in the sea at Argegno. Might not have pronounced that right. Argegno. There were thunderstorms in the morning. I walked to town. I met another gal from Munich and her friend who took photos of me with some flowers. Now, I didn't stop at Bellagio. That's where the George Clooney villa is. But here's an interesting fun fact. Most of the music I heard was American pop, not Italian. Now, this lake is carved into a deep canyon. The hills can be accessed by a special bus-like on rails called a funicular. I took the Lake Como funicular at 7 p.m., running every 30 minutes until midnight. I highly recommend you do this and give yourself time at the top. The views are stunning, and there's a lot to explore here. It connects Como to the town of Brunate. The trip lasts 7 minutes, and reaches the maximum allowed gradient of 55%. So that's steep. And the fee is small, only €3 for a single journey and €5.50 or $7 for a round trip. So worth it. Also, when leaving the train station in Como, notice the sculpture of large human hands nearby. It's beautiful and dedicated to disabled service people. One hand is healthy and one is wounded. Also, I noticed a little bit of Las Vegas here. Inside the train station, there was a mini gambling place, like in Las Vegas. And ironically, there's a hotel in Las Vegas that's called Bellagio. And now for today's misstep. You don't always love your roommates, right? Here's the situation. I went to bed by 9 p.m. because I was really busy the next day. My bed was in the middle bunk, and there were 5 in the room. At 11 p.m., 2 girls arrived and talked in street voices. I asked them to quiet down nicely. They didn't. I finally did get to sleep, but it was rude of them to wake others with their voices and chatter. Would you agree? And now for today's travel advice. Don't buy a timeshare or another one if you have one. It's tough to sell it. We got conned when we tried to sell our timeshare, so don't let that happen to you. We only lost a few $1,000s, but it was a warning. These are not easy to sell. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If they ask you for money, walk away. Timeshares are hard to navigate to use your week. I spend hours each year trying to book one, and it's very frustrating. I want to bring meaning to your future travels. Sign up for the Dr. Travel Best newsletter. We can connect on my website's Facebook page, group, or Instagram. You can find my books. It's a book series called The 5 Steps to Solo Travel. It's on my website or on Amazon. The show notes have more details, and I'd really, really like it if you would give a review for this podcast. Hope you enjoyed it.
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.